Hello, my name is Anne Marie Vanderoo, and this is my long-term English learner um, journal too. What makes English learners a long-term English learners? Children who are enrolled in school at a primary level are considered English language learners, and they arrive in the secondary school 7 more years later. Without the English skills needed to be successful in academics and thus affecting them severely academically. What are some of the characteristics of long-term English learners? These students are able to communicate in English and as well their native language. Some long-term English learners, students are able to express their needs in English and amongst their peers, but they're unable to express themselves academically, which causes them to struggle with their reading and writing skills. Um, these students also have habits. The inability to express or know academic language has led them to develop habits. These habits are shown as learned passivity, not being engaged, and even feeling invisible while at school. These habits were created because their needs are not being met. Also, these students, another characteristic of long-term English learners is that they're hopeful. They're hopeful, even though with all the challenges that they face, they're hopeful that they'll go to college and they'll be able to go through high school that leads into college. Even though they feel all these things like learned passivity and feeling invisible, um, they have that hope. What are some of the needs of long-term English learners? Is that they need an English language development program that specializes in teaching long-term English learners. This would cover academic vocabulary, writing workshops, all while making the lessons engaging for the students. These students also need specially designed academic instructions in English, which allows the students to being able to speak in their native language, which helps with understanding and teacher-led scaffolding and the focus on, again, academic language, which is what they need. The students also need monitoring programs. They need systems where they're being monitored, given support with their schedules throughout the time um, when they're in school, and helps them through the path to be successful. They need to be monitored and for success. What are some of the practices to support long-term English learners in the classroom? Well, according to an Edtopia um, article, there's a list of ways to support long-term English learners in the classroom. The most important one is that students understand the reading and it's not being watered down. They're being taught what other students are being taught. Students need to have access to the academic content, and teachers need to scaffold the teaching and their reading and their understanding. Um, this is what needs to be given to them. Also, truancy, allowing students to talk to one another and work in teams. When students are working on their reading comprehension and writing, they will be able to discuss the topics with each other in their native language, and it's going to be more engaging for them. Also, mindful listening. Incorporating mindful listening into the lessons, the students are able to ask each other clarifying questions to the partner regarding the subject. The students listen with the compassion and empathy towards the student who is speaking, and it creates like a safe space for them. Also, small group reading. Um, it doesn't matter the grade level of the student. English learners need to practice reading, and when they're placed in small groups, um, they practice the reading, and the English learner students help one another and their support, and they get that practice. And reference page, and it covers everything that I read, and these students need support. That's the main focus on supporting students with who are long-term English learners. They need support throughout all their schooling and specialized teachers. Thank you.